With Usain Bolt, Jamaica and the Caribbean were guaranteed gold for the last 3 Olympic Games. Without him in Tokyo, not so much. Word is that Yohan Blake, the man once known as the Beast, is rounding into form at the right time. The 400 meters features a tough field, but Stephen Gardner of the Bahamas will be right in the thick of things, and in the pit, look out for Jamaica's Tajay Gale. This week we take a look at the Caribbean's best male medal prospects for Tokyo 2020. Hi, I'm Leighton Levy and welcome to another episode of Tokyo Take. Before we begin, let me make a quick clarification. In my review of the women's chances last week, I misspoke when I said Jamaica would win the women's 4x400 meter relays. What I meant was, if the stick goes around, Jamaica will win the women's 4x1 and get silver in the 4x4. Now let's begin. For the first time since he appeared in the Olympics in 2004, Jamaica will be without Usain Bolt, who since 2008 guaranteed at least 3 gold medals. Now that he's gone, the pickings have become a lot slimmer. After Blake finished second at the National Championships in late June, I had a chat with Michael Frater, one of the coaches at the Titan International Club, who told me that Blake is in physical shape to run 9.8 seconds. On that day, however, he said Blake ran the worst 100 meters of the trials, and of course, remember, he ran 9.98 in the semis. Since then, he ran 9.95 in Florida, his best time since 2018, when he ran 9.94 in Brussels. I trust Frater, so I'm going to say Blake has a shot at a medal in the 100 meters. Beyond him, though, I don't see any other Jamaican getting into the final, but the experience will be good for the likes of Taekwondo Tracy and the very promising Oblique Seville. In the 200 meters, Rashid Dwyer is not the athlete he used to be. And I think 19.8 seconds is where you need to be to seriously contend in that event. Jeremy Richards from Trinidad and Tobago will likely be in the final, but does he medal? Unfortunately, I don't think so. He has run well this year, just not well enough. The 400 meters will be interesting because Michael Norman, Rudolph Ross, the only man to run 43 this year, and Michael Cherry will be hard to beat. But if anyone can, it will be Gardner from the Bahamas. In fact, I'll go right out and say it right now that the lanky Bahamian is my favorite to win the one-lapper. Since 2017, Kirani James has not been the quarter miler he used to be. Graves' disease has rendered him mortal, and even though he has run 44.61 this season, he's going to need to shave a few fractions off that to be among the medals. I hope he can. He's one of my all-time favorites, and I'm extremely proud of what he has accomplished for the Grenadiers. Dion Lendour from Trinidad has had a solid season, but like James, he's going to need to shave some time off that 44.73 he ran in Stockholm earlier this month. When it comes to the 110-meter hurdles, I believe at least one of Jamaica's 3 athletes will make the finals and eventually go on to win a medal. With all the talk of Omar McLeod, people forget that Ronald Levy, Damian Thomas, and Hansel Parchment are 3 of the top 10 best sprint hurdlers in the world right now, and I believe they will show that in Tokyo. In the field, I worry about Frederick Dakers. His discus has fallen off because of wrist surgery that he did last November, which has hampered his preparations this season, where he has thrown a best of 66.01 meters. And when you consider where Daniel Stahl, Christian Che, and Andres Gutzius, Simon Peterson, all of whom have thrown between 69 and 70 meters this season, it seems like a bridge too far. My heart says he will get there in time for Tokyo, but my head is telling me something completely different. On a more positive note, I think Gale is going to fly in the long jump and be among the medals. Gold even. His improved speed is an asset, and once he makes those adjustments on the runway for that additional speed, we're in for another spectacular performance from Gale. Anderson Peters is the world javelin champion, so I have to pencil him in as a medal prospect, even though his season best of 83 meters is nowhere close to the top. But as he said to me earlier this year, it is what you do on the day that counts. Who I think is a definite medal prospect is Keyshawn Wildcat, the 2012 champion and the 2016 bronze medalist, who seems to have rediscovered his mojo with that 89-meter throw in Finland in June. It would be nice to see him on the podium for a 3rd Olympics in a row. Now for my question this week. August 6, 2012 was a historic day for the island of Grenada when Kirani James won Olympic gold in the 400 meters. The time he ran was a national record. What was that time? That's all for now, folks. Thanks for joining me for another edition of Tokyo Take. See you next week. Bye-bye.